Good morning, everyone. Welcome to City Hall. This is the council meeting for City of Pasadena, November 6, 2018 at 10 a.m. We'll have Dr. Kirk Lewis lead us with a prayer, and Councilman Bass will do the pledges for us. Please stand.
Join me in prayer, please. Our Father, we come to you today truly humbled by your goodness and your grace. So much of life's blessings, Father, come to us even when we don't deserve it, but you love us enough to give us your blessing, give us your grace each and every day that we live. Father, today especially is one of those days because you have placed us here in a country that allows us to meet like this together in assembly with one another, to talk over business that is important to a community. You give us the opportunity, Father, on a day like today to come and vote, to elect leaders that are going to guide our country and guide our communities and guide our lives, Father. And we just pray that you give us wisdom in those opportunities that we have, that we vote the conviction of our heart and allow those things to play out the way you want them to play out. And so, Father, today as we gather in this assembly, we just pray for wisdom and guidance of these councilmen and the mayor as they continue to deliberate the business of the city. We ask that you give them insight into the needs of this community. Father, there are so many needs in our community, and we just know that it is the role that we play as government to make sure that we're meeting those needs in a proper way. So, Father, I lift them up to you and praise you for the fact that they are willing to serve. Father, we love you. We thank you for all the blessings of life that you give us. Pray all these things in the strong name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all for coming today. If you could please remove your hat, gentlemen. Face American flag. Honor the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, Councilman Bass.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, I'd like to send out a happy birthday and maybe possibly sing a happy birthday to our council member, Thomas Shanebein. His birthday is going to be November 11th. And if we could...
Well, if that's what you want to do, let's do it.
Well, let's do it. Let's make him stand up and we'll sing happy birthday.
You'll second it.
He says, I really appreciate
Go
that.
ahead and crank us off.
Ready, set, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Okay, now, Councilman Bass, go ahead.
Okay. Thank y'all for coming. It's beautiful Pasadena weather. Here we are in November and we're still in the 70s. But the cold weather's coming, so get ready. I want to start off by saying that our purchasing department had a new addition, Miss Karen Wallace. The baby's name is Hudson Michael Bear, and born on 10/24/18. Congratulations to Karen and Michael on their baby. Also, I want to recognize I got Leroy Stanley out there, and I believe I've got Miss Christina Womack from the Pasadena Chamber that came in today. Thank y'all for coming. Had a interesting Monday in my district. Had a young man at Pearl and Lafferty over by Strawberry, the Cantu family. He happened to run out in front of somebody. They had life flight come over there. I think it broke his leg, but hopefully that is all that happened and he'll be okay. We just want to watch our children as they're running around because you never know, they dart out in front of you. Another note, we had a gas break over at Crenshaw and Fairmont over by Crenshaw Park. So the parks were, you wanted to stay away from the parks yesterday. They had some shelter in places with the local schools, everything seems to have turned out. Our emergency service and our fine police force, thank you, Al, did a great job. They had it under control within 2 or 3 hours, and everything's back in place. So I want to thank y'all for that. Another thing that I wanted to do a shout out, Ms. Jomey and our city controller the other day received a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, and it was awarded to the city of Pasadena. So the Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. So thank you all, Jomey. Great job. And the last thing that I wanted to say, besides get out there and vote today, is we've got Veterans Day coming up. It was originally called Armistice Day, commemorating the signing of the agreement that ended World War I at 11 a.m. November the 11th. So Sunday, November the 11th is the actual Veterans Day, or Armistice originally, but we celebrate it on Monday. And I think what happened is Congress signed the Uniform Bill in 1968 to ensure that a few federal holidays, Veterans Days included, would be celebrated on Monday, and they hoped it would spur travel and other family activities over a long weekend, which would help stimulate the economy. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Shinebine.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today, and thank you for the wonderful rendition of Happy Birthday. And I really do hope I have many more. So thank y'all very much for that. I really appreciate that. I'd like to recognize Ms. Pat Van Hout. She's with us today, former council member, as well as Mr. Leroy Stanley, Christina Womack, and the young folks and their leadership from Lonnie B. Keller. I'm going to tell a little quick snippet. Lonnie B. Keller was my principal at Pasadena High School from 1974 to 1978. And I did have the opportunity to visit with him on occasions. And, you know, he was a good man and, you know, really educated us in a very positive manner. And thank y'all for being here today. Thank y'all so much. And I'd also like to personally recognize our Chief of Police, Chief Al Espinosa. Chief, you're going to be retiring, I believe, at the end of November. And, sir, I want to personally thank you on behalf of our citizens, you know, for your service over the last 39 years, the way you've conducted yourself in a very professional manner, and the character that you've displayed over those 39 years within the Pasadena Police Department. And I know the people that you came across during your service and during your time of duty, they have been touched by what you've brought to them. So, sir, I'd like to personally thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Councilman Villarreal.
Thank you all for being here. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick trying to get over this head cold. I'm probably not going to say too much, but like Councilman Shanebine said, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on this over the past week. I'd like to recognize Richie. We had a groundbreaking ceremony last week. Councilman Lehman and myself were involved in that groundbreaking ceremony for Richie Reconstruction. It's getting done. It's going to be a pretty long road there, but we're going to have a great street, and it's going to be a great commute from 225 to Southmore. And like Thomas Shanebine said, I'd like to congratulate the chief. He's been outstanding, even though his radio keeps going off. But it's been a pleasure serving with him. A little over a year ago, when he was selected to be our chief, I thought the police department took 2 huge steps forward in the department and the city. I just pray and hope that we don't take any steps backwards, and we can move forward from his leadership and continue police department and the road forward. He's been a great leader. It's been a great honor, and your retirement's well deserved. And I hope you. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Personally, I'd hate to see you go. So, and with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Lehman?
Thank everybody for coming out this morning. As Councilman Villarreal said, there was a groundbreaking for Ritchie Street, and I'm sure he inadvertently forgot to mention Councilman Bass, who was also there. But this project is going to be an amazing thing for Pasadena. Ritchie Street is long overdue in getting this done, and I'm glad to see it's finally coming about. And I think everybody can see the sign up here for the Can Do Food Drive coming up November 15th. If you can donate. Everything that is donated stays in Pasadena. This helps the people in Pasadena that are in need. It does not go out of Pasadena. It stays here. So if you're able, please donate. And as was said, Chief Espinoza, thank you so much for your service. I wish you well in your retirement, and Pasadena will miss you. With that, I'll pass it.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Harrison?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to address the residents on McNay Street. I went out and looked at your problem this weekend. Even though you signed the petition October the 16th, I didn't get it till November the 2nd. But that's the past. We need to move forward. And as you heard the mayor say, that's all I need to do is contact the mayor. We're going to see. But I never seen a street so terrible in my life, like a third world street. Drainage, the Halloween night it rained and they got flooded out again, homes and everything else. Something needs to be done. And on the north side, you got more terrible streets in the residential areas. They do a good job on the thoroughfares, but your residential areas, they don't do anything at all. So therefore, we're going to work with you, and they know the problem. We'll see what Public Works and Engineers does, but we're going to do something out there. And this is Election Day. And Veterans Day is November the 11th. We ought to honor all of our veterans. And I got a good quote from our American Legion magazine. I've been a Post 521 member for 39 years. But Veterans Day 2018, veterans, by their lives, by the record of their deeds, teach us more practical fashion than it can be taught by any preaching. For they teach us by practice. That is the ultimate analysis of the greatest a nation is to be measured not by the output of its industrial products, not by its material prosperity, not by the products of the farm, factory, business, house, but by the products of its citizenship, by the men and women that this nation produces. Now, this was spoken by President Theodore Roosevelt, speaking of Civil War veterans in San Jose, California, on May the 6th, 1906. So we can live in history, and it is true. And I do appreciate the veterans and American Legion, what they've done. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Sammy Casados?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out this morning. It's a great crowd. Good to see you all out here. Again, I would like to thank you, Chief, for your years of service. Thank you for the police officers back in the back for your services and what you do for this community. Thank you, McNay. Is it elementary or junior high?
Not McNay.
It's Keller.
Keller.
I'm thinking Keller. I'm sorry. I got to think
I got
McNay.
on your mind.
Yeah.
That's good.
You got McNay on my mind. So thank you all for coming out. And again, I just want to remind everybody, please get out and vote. This is an important election. I mean, every election is important. Every vote counts. So get out and vote, vote, vote. Vote your conscience. Thank you. That I
Thank you,
pass.
sir. Councilman Willard?
Thank you, Mayor. thank everyone being here. Keller Elementary got a full crowd, and I love to see people come out and get involved in local government. If the government's not serving you, if it's not doing what it needs to do, then we need to hear it, and you got to make your voice heard. And today is election day, so get out and vote. And with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, sir. Okay, citizens wishing to speak. Barbara Zitzman, you're first.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody this morning?
Fantastic.
Good. Good. I wanted to make sure everyone saw my red wagon for the Candy Food Drive that's coming up. Also that they saw my T-shirt, because we get T-shirts each year, all the volunteers. And on the back, this is last year's. We have our sponsors back there listed. It's so great to see everybody. I'm going to start with our Can Do Food Drive. I've been the chair for, this will be my 6th year. I've been very honored and privileged to have that responsibility. And each year I have a great team that is with me and helping me every step of the way. Without them, I couldn't do it. And without you who give and help support us and volunteer, for sure we couldn't do it. So I just wanted to make you all aware that it is coming up on November the 15th. It will be at the Dabney Veterans Stadium there off of Dabney, like it has been the last 8 years. And we appreciate each and every one of you. I just wanted to let you know, and sometimes you don't get to hear the statistics from the year before. And did I say my name was Barbara? I'm Barbara Sitzman, by the way. Last year, in 2017, we collected over 42,000 pounds of food. And in monetary donations, we received over $54,000 in monetary donations. So together, when you add those together, we collected and distributed to all of our citizens who needed it in Pasadena over 96,000 pounds of food along with monetary donations. So let's give everyone a hand for last year. I just wanted to say thank you. We still do need food. We still do need donations, and most definitely we need you. It's very easy to volunteer. You can volunteer 30 minutes, an hour. It doesn't have to be a whole day, and especially for our seniors like me, we sometimes can't stand on our feet and do that for 4, 6, 8 hours like our wonderful Clean Streets Department does, day in and day out. We are so blessed for them. Clean Streets, you are awesome, every one of you. If you're watching this, I hope you remember it always. And that's it for the Can Do Food Drive. The next thing I wanted to talk about, signs always mean a lot. I didn't have a sign. I didn't take the time to do it before I came in today, but I was talking to these wonderful young students who aren't old enough to vote yet. They're 11 and 12-year-olds from Keller Middle School. Welcome, everyone from Keller. Anyway, I was talking about them voting, and that when they get to be 18 to make sure they vote, and to vote every year.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Appreciate it. And they will vote when they are 18, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, next is actually Keller Middle School.
I did go on. Sorry.
Good job, Barbara. Good job.
Mayor Wagner and City Council members, good morning. We are excited to be here for another year to learn about city government. This year, Keller has been recognized as a Texas School to Watch and a National School of Character. We have a new principal, Mr. Dan Ebley, and we will be better every day. We are looking forward to a year of learning, growing, and being leaders in our school and community.
We have recently completed this year's school collection for the Can Do Food Drive. This year, Keller collected 3,788 cans for the local food pantries. On November 9th, Keller will host our annual Veterans Day Assembly. This assembly will salute veterans and feature performances by Keller's band, choir, and orchestra. Today is Election Day. Do your part and make this community a better place for you and us. Rangers, lead the way.
All right.
Thank y'all so much. Very good job. Thank y'all so much. Christina Womack.
I need to pay attention to who I sign up to follow. Mayor, City Council members, I want to thank you all for your participation at Taste of the Town and the entire community. It is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and last Thursday served no difference. It was another record-breaking year for us. I want to thank all of our sponsors and donors and those that participated in the auction by donating items, purchasing items, the volunteers, anybody who walked through the door or just purchased a ticket with your family. I want to say a thank you to Councilman Bass and his wife Fran for chairing another successful event for us. There was about 29 restaurants who participate at Taste of the Town, and they compete for the 5-star award categories. And so I want to share with you who the winners are. Our American category food winner was Southern Comfort Kitchen. Barbecue went to Randy's Smokehouse and Barbecue. Italian went to Maggiano's Little Italy. Mexican went to the CTHS Culinary Department at the high school. The specialty category went to Sudi's Catfish House. Dessert was Nothing Bundt Cakes, and beverage was Texas Snowbirds. And then best decorated booth that went along with our circus theme was Nothing Bundt Cakes. And then our People's Choice, which is voted on by all of the folks that come through the doors, went to Texas Roadhouse. So I encourage you to go visit all of the restaurants who participated. They invest a lot of time and money and resources to come out there and provide samples to more than 3,000 people. So it's a lot of food. So when you're thinking about where to eat, please consider going to visit one of those restaurants. And then I also, as everybody else has said, your chamber does encourage you to get out and vote. And so we encourage you to do that. And then next Tuesday, invite you to come out to our elected officials reception. I hope all of our council members will be there alongside our state and federal elected officials that serve our community and region. It'll be next Tuesday from 5 to 7, and a great opportunity to meet and greet and have conversations with your constituents and meet our elected officials. And then we also, on your way in, Christmas is coming. And so all of the Christmas trees that you saw in the lobby are hosted and put up by our various nonprofit organizations in the community. And so we encourage you to stop by and visit and go vote on your favorite. There's multiple categories. So please come by and visit those. Thank you to all the nonprofits who participated. And then we also have our last luncheon and events of the year. December 6th is our volunteer appreciation and first responder recognition luncheon. So December 6th, mark your calendars for that. And we'll end the year with our December 13th annual gala, where we'll announce our Citizen of the Year, and we'll also be announcing our candidates for our new program for Impact Pasadena. I talked about it last month, but again, just want to remind everybody that applications are online and available until November 15th. So if you want to participate in this partnership event with the Pasadena EDC, this transformative leadership program for Pasadena's current and future businesses, we look forward to making an impact with tomorrow's leaders. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Dr. Kirk Lewis.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you real briefly today about the 16th Annual McDonald's Texas Invitational Basketball Tournament coming up on November 15th through 17th. We're going to have another great tournament this year. We've got some outstanding teams coming in, outstanding players, and just wanted to tell you a little bit about those folks that are coming in. As you know, our tournament we invite 80 teams into the tournament from across the state of Texas. A lot of them from this region, but also from Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Corpus, all over the state of Texas. Out of the 24 teams in our Division I on the boys' side, 19 of those schools are ranked in the top 50. So they're going to be very competitive, and that includes Allen High School, that's ranked number 2 in the state of Texas, as well as Fort Bend Bush, that's ranked number 9, Katy Tompkins, North Crowley, Houston Sam Houston, all ranked in the top 20 in the state of Texas. And so you're going to see some outstanding basketball in the tournament on the boys division. On the girls side, we have 16 teams in Division I that play, and 13 of those 16 teams are in the top 50 across the state of Texas, including Duncanville, which has won our tournament for several years in a row. They're number 1 again in the state of Texas. They'll be here with us. Converse Judson, number 4. Cy Creek, number 8. Cy Ranch, Cibolo Steel, and Humble Summer Creek all in the top 20 again. So some great competition on the teams. Also, you'll notice when you come out to the tournament and watch, many of the players who are playing in this tournament are going to go on and play at Division I colleges and universities across the country. You'll see this year Jamius Ramsey from Duncanville, currently hoping to go to Texas Tech since that's where I graduated. That's what he's saying at this moment. Drew Timmy from Richardson J.J. Pierce, choosing between A&M and Duke. No choice on that one to me. If you got a Duke offer, you go to Duke, right? And that's kind of the way that works. Grant Sherfield at North Crowley going to UCLA. There are 10 others joining them in the tournament that are ranked in the top 100 recruits in the country. And so that's a pretty exciting field. We also have some juniors that are playing this year that are ranked in the top 100 in the country for 2020 in recruits. 2 of them going to LSU, a young man from Duncanville and a young man from Katie Morton Ranch. On the girls' side, we have Kira White going to USC, Karina Carter, New Mexico, Elizabeth Scott, Oklahoma, just some outstanding talent that you're going to see playing in our tournament. So I invite you to come out. Christina handed you a T-shirt. We hope you'll wear that and come out and enjoy watching those games. And I will tell you that we are grateful to the city. You are one of our major sponsors, and we thank you so much for being a part of that. And we encourage you to come out and look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, Doctor. Really appreciate that. Victor Aguirre? Yes.
Hi, good morning, Mayor, council members. Thank you for the time. I'm here today with a few of my neighbors from McNay Street and Red Bluff Terrace. I've lived in that neighborhood for over 30 years. Some of us as more than 50 years. And we all are here together with one goal, and that's to fix our street. The street's been in very bad shape over years, and it's gone from worse to even more worse. We've had my neighbor here was coming back from her hospital. She was in the hospital. She had to wait 2 hours just to get to her home while the water went down. I would have hated to happen the other way, her needing help and not being able to get it because of people not be able to come down the street. Our goal here is to get our street redone. That's the same with the storm drain. We need new storms. We want concrete road. We don't want asphalt. We've had asphalt. The flooding just lifts it back up and potholes everywhere. It's a safety hazard with our elders trying to walk down the street, the sidewalks, kids coming on and off the bus. We have new lights that went up, street lights that since they've gone and redone the street, they no longer work. So we have new lights that aren't working. The whole street at night is just dark. It's not safe for people at night to pass through there in a dark street. We live in it's where we live at. It's not a flood zone yet. We get a small little storm and it just floods everything out. 2 inches of rain ends up being 5 to 6 just standing in the street of water, just standing for hours to go. We did get some work done. All that did was just it managed to make things worse. Now it takes a little longer to drain. So we're just here. Hopefully we'll get something resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going to open up a public hearing on the appeal or rejection of a motor vehicle dealer license located at 2535 Spencer Highway. And we have John Williams that wants to speak. You may approach the podium, please.
Mayor, council, real brief. We've been in this city in business since 1966. Our dealership opened on 2311 Shaver next to the old Milburns years ago, and obviously 1966. And in 2007, we moved to our current location. We built that facility and moved there. At that time, La Fiesta Auto Sales was next door to us. Trumbull Auto Sales was across the street. Emmons was behind us. Since then, Emmons has moved. La Fiesta is closed. Of course, Trumbull is still across the street. And at that time, they did the exact same thing that I'm asking the council to do now. They allowed me to transfer my dealer's license from 2311 Shaver to 2212 Spencer Highway with the agreement that I would relinquish my license, and I did that, of course, with the city, relinquish my license for 2311 Shaver, to where it could no longer be any kind of dealership ever again. We are truly a motorcycle dealership. We are the largest tire dealership in the country for motorcycles, and we have always been a motorcycle dealership. We've never sold cars. Our license does not allow us to sell cars. In the state of Texas, you have different licenses for what you want to do. There's trailer license, car license, motorcycle license, RV license, et cetera. And so the state only allows us to sell motorcycles, only allows us to sell motorcycles. We relinquished that license at 2311 Shaver with the agreement that we would do that, so when we moved to 2212 Spencer Highway, they allowed us to transfer it to there. And 2311 Shaver's never been anything other than just what it is today. It's never been any kind of car lot or anything like that. But also, in the motorcycle industry, a motorcycle dealership's not going to ever purchase a piece of property that would be set up as a car lot. It's just not beneficial. We need a retail building, and vice versa. A car lot's never going to come in and buy a building that we're in because it just wouldn't be conducive to a car lot. It just never would. It's just two totally different businesses, as you can tell now that you always see that at a car lot, it's all space to park cars. And the building is the smallest portion of the car lot. It's totally the opposite in the motorcycle industry. It's all building. So we moved there in 2007. We've decided to downsize. So this building has been for sale at 2535 Spencer Highway for over 2 years. The problem with that building has been that it's just a very small parking lot. Big building, small parking lot. So it's been a hard building to sell. We can repurpose that building. We can be able to use that building for just what we're wanting to do. And with that, we've went to all the neighboring neighbors, gotten letters. They have no problem with what we're wanting to do whatsoever. And that being said, we are going to relinquish our license at 2212 Spencer Highway. We do not want that spot to ever be any kind of auto dealer or car dealership or motorcycle dealership. Obviously, nothing against the city, but we don't want it to be anything for business. We don't want a competitor to ever be able to move into that dealership. So we want to relinquish that license. We want to give up that license. And then, of course, obviously, that's going to be that building's obviously sold and going to be repurposed also. So that being said, I think that there's just really where we're at is we're doing the exact same thing we did in 07 and with 2535 Spencer Highway. And again, to emphasize, that building's been for sale for over 2 years. They hadn't been able to do anything with it. So I'd just really like you to consider this. Any questions, I'll be able to answer. Anything you can do, anything you got?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you coming. Anyone else who wants to speak in this matter? Anyone else? Okay. Well, you'll have time to have your, after the motion in a second. No, you're not. Okay, here we go. No, I meant, no, you're not. You're fixing to speak. Now, come on now. Let's don't be rude up here. Okay, we need a motion. We have a motion by Councilman Bass, second by Wheeler. Now, sir, we have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Discussion?
They would go ahead, sir.
I was thinking about this, Arlen, because I was on the council.
It's on.
It's on. Years ago that we wrote the original ordinance, and back then we had car lots that would get variances, and I remember 2 of them. And what they would do, they get the variances and get the permit, and then they'd turn around and sell to another individual. And the city got burnt twice on that. But I have to say that this individual's been in business since 2007. And the reason I'm going to support it, I do not believe that he's going to sell his business. He's been in business a long time, and he's not going to turn around and sell that permit. And therefore, that's the reason I'm going to reconsider, and I can support him.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Any
you.
other comments?
Mayor? I'll speak.
Go ahead,
I
sir.
mean, I think we do have ordinances on the book, but I think this is sometimes certain situations trump what we have on the books, and I think that this is one of those situations. So I think it's pretty simple. Essentially, it's a business moving across the street. So I'm all for that.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I'm going to support this also. Our ordinance says motor vehicles. It doesn't differentiate between cars, motorcycles, or any other motor vehicle. And having met with Mr. Williams and talked with him, they've been in business for many years in Pasadena, and I'm going to support this. I want him to stay in Pasadena and continue to have a successful business.
Thank you, sir. You bet. Anyone else?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to just say that during our conversations during pre-council, one of the things that I brought up was the need for us to update the language in our city ordinances. You know, we need to clarify between motorcycle and motor vehicles what the actual distinguishing is of that. I'm going to support this. I think they're good for Pasadena. They've had a long working relationship with us, and you know, with them relinquishing their license, you know, they have shown intent to keep Pasadena first, and this is actually going to help Pasadena with the abundance of used cars here in our city. So I'll be supporting this, y'all.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Mayor, I've had the opportunity to visit with Mr. Williams at length for several months. We've had many discussions over this. We have a concern about having a car lot against each other. And after speaking with him, like I said, several months, I believe he's a great businessman. I think he's an asset to our city. I think this move is going to be a win-win for the city of Pasadena, so I will support this measure.
Okay, sir. Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? It passes. We'll move on to presentations. Dan?
Mayor and Council, we have just one service award to hand out today. That's to Jose Garcia. If you come up here, Jose. Jose works in our wastewater collection. He's receiving a gold watch today. I'll take this out of the box and show everybody. He's receiving a gold watch today for his service with the city. He's been with the city for 40 years. So congratulations, Jose. Thank you. He said he's going to get back to work. So am I. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have someone doing the, yeah, I see you. Come on up here, please.
Hi, Mayor, Council. My name is Michelle Blunt. I work for the Parks and Recreation Department at the Vern Cox Center for People with Disabilities. And this gentleman back here is Jed Aplaka. He's the director of the Parks and Rec Department. We're here to praise and let you know what an asset Whataburger is to the Texas International Shootout Wheelchair Basketball Tournament that we hold annually over Labor Day weekend. Whataburger supports, they rent the sport courts for us, which come in 4 feet by 4 feet pieces that we have to lay on the floor and put together like a puzzle for 2 basketball courts. So they rent that for us and bring it in. Since there's nothing local, we have to rent it from Austin. They provided breakfast sandwiches for over 200 people. When these people came to the actual event, they brought every spectator, family, athlete, coaches, a cooling neck wrap that said Whataburger and these really cool light up bracelets. That was great. The staff came, they brought What a Guy, and they also donated 1 year of Whataburger for the winner of Sunday's free throw contest. So we're so thankful to them, and thanks Whataburger for making Shootout a rolling success for people with disabilities. Can we get a picture?
I think we should,
Oh,
yes.
that'd be great. Oh, yes, Jed, sorry.
Hey, we really like to thank Whataburger. You know, they help us with a lot of our events and other things that are going on too. And I know where I'm going for lunch, so I don't know about you guys. But.
Y'all want to stand up here and we'll take a picture?
Stanley or Jackie, that's all right.
Thank you all again. On the Kaboom bill, do we have Tammy or anyone? Are you going to do that? Okay.
We can have Victor Allison come up. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for giving us the opportunity to speak and give this presentation today. As you guys know, about a month ago, we worked with Kaboom, who's a nonprofit organization that links organizations together with funders who can help provide new playground sets for the community. And so in October, we built the new playground at Memorial Park with Councilmember Villarreal's area. Very great new playground that we've seen lots of people playing at since then. We're really excited to work with them. So the funder that Kaboom paired us with this time was Travelers Insurance. So we'd like to bring them before us today, Victor and Ellison from Travelers Insurance, and kind of recognize them as they came forward and helped to fund our playground that we got put in over there. So we'd like to thank them for everything that they've done, and we have this great plaque too that we're presenting to them also. So thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Can we get a picture too?
Yes, we'll stand for a picture for that too. Look who became a photographer all of a sudden.
Ready?
Thank you all again. Great job. Okay, that brings us down to presentation of the minutes, October 16th at 6 p.m. Motion Shanebine, second Lehman. Any questions? Go ahead, sir.
Last week on the minutes, we had a pretty good discussion on tax rates and tax increases and why we were doing this tax increase. One of the reasons, and the only reason that the administration says we needed a tax increase was for a raise for the employees, and there's not anything on this agenda to give the employees a 3% cost of living raise. I'm a little disappointed, and I just hope that this wasn't a sham to fool the taxpayers into paying more in taxes. Other thing is that we had a council member discuss some of the amount of money that he was going to be getting in his district. It's about $27 million is what he said. I pulled the same information that he had, and to date, there's only been $234,000 spent in his district. The other $25 million he's talking about are all federal grant program things that may not even come to fruition. So where he's getting $27 million from, I have no idea. He's only been spent $234,000 in his district. And, sometimes I wish council members would do a little bit more homework because, they take the mayor's word for it. It makes them look like liars. So that I pass, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, I'd like to make a comment if I could.
I'll let you go ahead, sir.
One of the things we talk about doing our homework, and I specifically spoke with our city controller, who is basically works for city council. And one of my concerns was that we did pass the increase for city employees. Well, due to vacations and getting things on the agenda, it will be on the next agenda. So for it to be said that it's not going to be on the agenda is incorrect information, and it will be on the next agenda, and council will be voting on that. And I want to reassure all of the employees for the city of Pasadena, you know, this council, every single one of us has your best interest in mind when we vote on these amendments and ordinances. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Point of information, Mayor? May I?
No, sir. Anybody have any other comments?
Yes, Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
I certainly appreciate the city controller calling certain council members and giving them this updated information. There's 3 council members who voted twice to have an amendment to the budget to have a 3% cost of living increase. City controller told the council member that even last council meeting that they were going to be a pay increase. She does not consult with all the city councilmen. Her idea is she only has to consult with 4, and the other 4 are left out. I was told that by her personally, and therefore that's what she told one council member. She hasn't told me, and until I said in the budget, and I'm going to support it, but until I said in 2 weeks, then we'll vote on it. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you,
Point
sir.
of information.
You've already spoken.
We're fine. Thank you so much. Anybody have any other comments?
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
In regards to comments made about the city controller does, in a sense, work for the council. She has a telephone, she has an office, she's available to every one of us. And to say that she's not providing information, I think is incorrect, because the information is there, but you do have to ask for it sometimes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mayor, the city controller is very available. She works probably harder than most people. I mean, I can call her at 5 and she's waiting on me. But it is up to the council members to contact. She does not go around contacting different council members. It's up to the individual council members to contact the controller to discuss what is on the agenda, to discuss different things. We go into her office, or she'll come to our office. I do it on my time. Every council member sitting up here has that ability to do it. She does not section out different council people. She works for all of us, and we go in and speak with her. She gives us all the information that we ever want. She's a great controller. That'll pass.
Okay, sir.
Mayor, yes. I don't want to get sidetracked by who's talking to the city controller or how much talking to the city controller. What this was brought up under is the tax increase. And the tax increase was issued, and I hope to see the pay increase for employees on here. But as it stands right now, there's been 2 months of talks about a pay increase. It's not on the budget. Furthermore, I think it's very important as council members that we are as clear and as transparent as possible to the public. And several council members threw some numbers out that most of the work is going to the north side of Pasadena. And in the last 18 months, we've pulled out $73 million in debt. The fact of the matter is, I serve District D, which is North Pasadena. Not one penny is $73 million is going to districts in District D. Not roads, not drainage, not nothing. And so when council members come here and say, well, why aren't you voting this tax increase? It's going to benefit your district. No, it's not. And furthermore, let me tell you this. We have a neighborhood grant program. Pulled the numbers for last year. Of the $80,000 issued out to neighborhoods, there are 5 districts north of Spencer, and there's 3 districts south of Spencer. Of the $80,000, $72,000 went south of Spencer. Those are the cold hard facts. So you can make this conversation about who's talking to the city controller more. It doesn't matter who's talking to the city controller. The fact of the matter is the city's not spending the money fairly, and they're not giving money to the north side of Pasadena. And that's the bottom line. That's why I voted against the tax increase, and I do want to see this pay raise on the city agenda next time.
Thank you for your comments, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Brings us down to finance resolutions. Motion Lehman. You're right. Progress payments is next. Sorry about that, Bruce. But I'll take a motion on progress.
You got it.
We got Lehman. Got a second? Casedos. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Now it brings us down to finance resolutions. Motion Shanebine,
Second.
second Casados. Any questions?
Yes. Go ahead.
I'd like to abstain from anything in regards to Bass Monkey.
Yes, sir. Mr. Harrison, go ahead.
The discussions, these are all checks that are approved by the city controller, and we've had discussion on the city controller, and I'll give you some facts that happened. The city controller called the city councilman, asked him how he's going to vote. City controller said he's deciding to vote. City controller called this council with a four-way conversation with other people involved. I asked for information, sends a memo, the copy with James Rodriguez memo. 4 things I did when I first came in office, and all of them go straight to the mayor. So therefore, she works for the city council. She does not work for the mayor. And look at your charter and read your charter and believe it. As long as the mayor controls the majority of the council, she's going to be safe. But she works for the city council, and that alone. I'll pass.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Go to personnel changes, A and C.
Motion.
Motion Casados.
Second.
Second Lehman. Any questions?
Yes, Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
Al Espinosa, thank you, sir, for your 39 years service for the city. I was grateful that you were appointed chief of police. It was great for the city, great for the diversity of the city, and we've had nothing but success since you've been here. I've been 100% supporter of you, and I'm still 100% supporter of you, and I will continue to be 100% supporter of you. I don't back down for any threatening reasons or anything. When I say I'm going to support somebody, I support them. And I hope you and your family, as I said before, your family comes first. Take care of your family, enjoy life, enjoy your grandkids. Thank you, sir.
Amen. Exactly. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, you should speak up next time.
Oh,
I'll go ahead and allow it. Go ahead, sir.
let him reconsider.
I appreciate that, Mayor. All right, Chief, again, thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to support this. I want you to stay. That's how much I support you 100%. And you know, you've done a great job doing what you've done. A matter of fact, crime is down. I think a few months ago, the chief of staff was at the Madison Job Center bragging on how crime was down. And you know, I don't understand why you're leaving. I've heard and I got pretty good sources saying that you were forced out.
Let's keep personnel information away from this. If you read his letter for retirement, you'll see why the man's retiring. Don't bring up your opinion.
Mayor, it's not opinion.
Yes,
it's not opinion.
We don't bring
fact.
personnel issues above here. That's for executive meetings only.
Okay,
ahead,
well, if you'd call them, we could have one.
Go ahead, sir.
So thank you. Anyways, I'd appreciate that. But like I said, you know, it's one of these things to where it's a political thing. Chief has done nothing wrong. I mean, there's no basis for this retirement, if you want to call it that. The man's been forced out. And it's unfortunate that we have these things going on. We have certain people within the City Marshal's Department that are under investigation right now.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, sir.
And
again,
why are we not being transparent? Why are we not being transparent
Point
with
of order
certain
is
things
well
going
taken.
on?
Sammy Casados, please. You know better than that. You know the rules.
What is your point of order?
He's speaking.
No.
I know his
So-
point of order. He's speaking way beyond.
Chief, I would just like to say, I am not going to vote for this retirement. I believe that you're doing a fine job, and there's no reason for you to leave. You are what Pasadena is. You are the only person that has tried
Your
to
time's
bring
up, sir. Thank
the
you so
city
much.
together.
Your time's up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief.
Your time is up. Thank you, sir. Okay, all in favor?
I think I'm opportunity to speak.
Go ahead, sir.
I'll be short, Mayor. Just same thing, Chief. I don't think it's right what's going on. But I'm not going to support this. I don't want to see you go. You know, you've been doing this a long time, one of the longest serving city employees. I did the math a little bit. You had been a police officer here in Pasadena for 6 years before I was born. So to put, you know, you've been doing this a long time, and I'm not going to be the one to. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be the one to have you leave. And like I said, if you ever need anything, let me know, and I got your back.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed?
No.
We have 2 noes. Passes. Brings us down to final readings.
Ordinance 2018-135, annual contract with Cherry Crush Concrete for purchase of flexible base materials. Ordinance 2018-136, contract with Core and Main for purchase of 7,175 Neptune water meters, $1,492,282.65. Ordinance 2018-137, amend the Code of Ordinances at Chapter 20, Miscellaneous Provisions and Offenses, Article 2, Sexually Oriented Businesses, Sections 2025, 2027, 2029, 2030, 2032, 2036, 2040, 2041, 2044, and 2045. Ordinance 2018-138.
We're going to read it, and then we'll go to the amendment. We'll go back to that. Go ahead.
Okay. Ordinance 2018-138, amend the Code of Ordinances at Chapter 13, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 7, Fire Prevention Code, Section 13152, by adopting changes to the International Fire Code 2015 edition at Chapter 3, General Requirements. Ordinance 2018-139, amend the Code of Ordinances at Chapter 13, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 7, Fire Prevention Code 13152, by adopting changes to the International Fire Code 2015 edition at Chapter 57, Flammable and Combustible Liquids.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend 2018-137 for it to state to amend ordinance 2018-137 on final reading to delete language added on the first reading.
Okay, so we have a motion. Second, Lehman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we'll go ahead, sir.
What were the original motions for the final?
Yeah, we need to have an original motion to pass and then make the
motions.
amendment.
Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go for the motion for the all the tread.
Same motion.
Sammy Casado, second Wheeler.
And then he made a motion.
Okay. And now we'll go for the motion.
And then Lehman seconded his motion.
Right. All in favor? Any opposed? Now go back to
As
the original,
amended.
all that's read. All in favor? Any opposed? Got it.
Okay.
First readings, Madam Secretary.
Ordinance 2018-140, contract with RM Quality Construction LLC for completion of partially reconstructed existing single-family home at 1208 Mobile Drive, Pasadena, Texas, $72,050.
Motion's Casados, second Wheeler. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-141, contract with RM Quality Construction LLC for completion of a partially reconstruction existing single-family home at 2315 Camille Street, Pasadena, Texas, $72,050.
Motion Lehman. Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-142, agreement with the Bridge Over Troubled Waters to provide rapid rehousing services under the Emergency Solutions Grant, $44,989.42.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine. Second Casados. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-143, agreement with the Bridge Over Troubled Waters to provide essential services and/or operational services under the Emergency Solutions Grant, $83,057.40.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine. Second Lehman. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-144, agreement with Sarah's House to provide shelter operations and services for homeless women and children under the Community Development Block Grant, $62,604.42.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine. Second Casados. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-145, commitment between the Community Development Department and Parks and Recreation Department, Madison Job Senior Center, to provide transportation services to the elderly and our disabled residents under the Community Development Block Grant, $185,257.98.
Motion Casados. Second Lehman. Any questions?
Mayor?
Go ahead, sir.
First readings A through F, when you hear them at first glance, 72, 72, 44, 83, 62, 185. I went to the controller and I says, are we getting this money back? Yes. We spend it and it comes back to us in the form of a grant. On the last one on F, that is really a good program. I suggest if you have any questions, get a hold of Luann Nolan at Madison Job and speak to her about it. It's a great program for seniors or people that are maybe handicapped to get to the grocery store, pick up the pharmacy, go to a doctor visit. It's a great program that Pasadena puts on. It's called Rides. and she can discuss everything with you, but get a hold of Luann Nolan or one of her staff. With that, I'll pass.
Thanks, sir. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-146, commitment between the Community Development Department and the Public Works Department for a public facilities and improvement project, Water Street paving and drainage improvements project under the Community Development Block Grant, $1,036,674.82.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine. Second Casados. Any questions?
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
That's $1,036,000 going towards Wafer. That's in the historical side of town. I know it might be a block grant, but we're working on these things as we can get to them, and I appreciate that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-147, contract with Brooks Concrete, Inc. for the 2019 annual sidewalk replacement project, $622,015.80.
Motion.
Motion Lehman, second was Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-148, contract with D&W Contractors, Inc. for the 2019 annual drainage and pavement replacement project, $1,134,346.50.
Motion Casados, second Lehman. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
That's $1,134,000. I hope the public works will go out on McNay Street and see what a third world street we've got out there and replace it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any, all in favor? Any opposed? Pass this, got it. Go ahead, ma'am.
Ordinance 2018-149, amending the Code of Ordinances of Chapter 36, Traffic, Article 6, Speed Regulations, Section 36-144, maximum limits in school zones.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine.
Second.
Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-150, amending the Code of Ordinances of Chapter 36, Traffic, Article 6, Speed Regulations, Section 36-146, Table of Maximum Speed Limits.
Motion Casados.
Second.
Second Wheeler. Any questions?
Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend on this and see if we can get the residential speed limits changed to 25 miles per hour. I think it would be great to keep our kids safe, maybe reduce on some of the speed bumps going in on the area. I've had a lot of complaints in my district, people speeding down the roads, and I think it'll make everybody safer.
I agree with that, but let's do a little more talking about that before we make the amendment today. We shouldn't just jump into something that we don't know all the details.
If we can get together on that, it'd be great.
Absolutely. That's not a problem. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-151, annual contract with NAFCO for the purchase of fire protection bunker gear.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine.
Second.
Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-152, annual radio service agreement with Motorola Solutions, Inc. for maintenance and repairs to the dispatch center and 4 towers located at 1201 Davis, 1114 Davis, 7601 Red Bluff, and mobile radio tower located at 3124 Red Bluff, $91,783.14.
Motion.
Motion Lehman.
Second.
Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-153, grant agreement with the Texas Department of Public Safety Divisions of Emergency Management for the fiscal year 2018 Emergency Management Performance Grant in the amount of $48,585.21.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine. Second Casados. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-154, accept grant funds of $26,980 from the Houston Galveston Area Council.
So motion.
Moved by Bass, second by Lehman. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2018-153, annual contract with Merriam Group DBA Econocuts for landscape maintenance.
Motion.
Motion Casados.
Second.
Second Bass. Any questions?
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I would like to make a comment on our landscape maintenance. I understand that we've had several weeks of just rain and downpours, but I would really like us to get back to focusing on, getting the grass cut throughout the whole city and maintaining our esplanades, getting the trees cut back, and just really presenting our city well with grooming our city. And I would like to hold these folks accountable, for those services. And I would like to see some dramatic improvement, as weather permits, obviously, to get our city cleaned up as far as landscaping and enforcing those ordinances.
I agree. Remember September, we had more rainfall than we ever had in the history, so that does put stuff back. Go ahead, Councilman Bass.
Mayor, I spoke with Mr. Lyde about this. He's in charge of taking care of our grass cutting, and I'm real concerned with the Econo cuts. This is a contract. They've been doing this work for us, and when I drive down the road, you're right. We got grass this high. If you don't see it on TV, that's about 12 inches. And I spoke with Mr. Light at length yesterday. He's got a gentleman that is going to supervise the cutting. They cut 42 weeks a year. That means they're 10 weeks off. That's probably during winter when it quits growing. But I said, we need to watch it. We have a 30-day out with this company. They're going to be taking over the track along Vince Bio also. And one thing that I feel comfortable with Mr. Lyde, the way he bids this, it's not just low bid. It's actually a five-step. He takes and he looks at, he basically comes up with 5 different evaluators, and they check it out for capability, safety, overall price for the services, the respondent's detailed description of the work plan, and references. And then he scores it. They scored about 444 out of 500. And so we're going to be watching this because cutting grass is dear and near to my heart, and it also shows the way that Pasadena presents itself. So we're going to be watching this, and I think he's going to do a good job. They've taken a different look at it this year, and so I think it's going to be much better. With that, I'll pass.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
I sure have been watching them also, but I wish they would do something. The newly acquired bank building that Pasadena owns now and the AT&T building, they have never cut their grass yet. And it's got trees growing up in it now in the landscape. So therefore, that's 2 to first get started on. Thank you, Mayor.
I agree with that. Thank you, sir. All in favor? Any opposed? Go ahead, Madam Secretary.
And ordinance 2018-156, an ordinance of the City of Pasadena, Texas, annexing adjacent and contiguous territories of Air Products Industrial District, Battleground Industrial District, Battleground Ethel Industrial District, Colex Industrial District, Enron Gas Processing Industrial District, Enron Industrial District, Exxon Industrial District, Gatex Industrial District, Georgia Gulf Industrial District, Marathon Industrial District, Oil Taking Industrial District, Oil Taking Inc. Industrial District, Pasadena Industrial District, Pasadena Bayport Industrial District, Pasadena Light Industrial District, Phillips Chemical Industrial District, Phillips Industrial District, Shell Industrial District, Southwest Chemical Industrial District, Southwest Industrial District, Tenneco Industrial District, and Vinylplex Industrial District, and certain other territory in the vicinity of the Bayport Development, in the vicinity of Highway 225, in the western portion of the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Pasadena. Such territory is more specifically described and depicted in the attached Exhibit A to the City of Pasadena, Texas, finding that all necessary and required legal conditions have been satisfied, providing that such areas shall become part of the city, and that the owners and inhabitants thereof shall be entitled to the right and privileges of other citizens and be bound by the acts and ordinances now in effect to be hereafter adopted, providing for severability clause and providing for said ordinance to take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Motion Casado, second Wheeler. Any questions?
Mayor, I'd like to give some clarification on all these industrial districts. This is a motion to annex, and these corporations or these entities within these industrial districts, they have until the end of the year to work with the city. And, every day, a lot of these industrial district partnerships, they're signing off on this. And, it's going to be a living document per se until the end of the year, and we will see more of these drop off.
Yes, you'll see next 95% of these people are off this list already. 95%. So, any other comments? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so to kind of echo what Councilmember Shanebine said, all these companies on here is a little bit misleading because my understanding is that quite a few, if not almost all of the companies have already signed the industrial agreement that we set forth. We're waiting on a few more to sign. And again, they have until December 31st to sign that. The reason why we're voting on this now is if they do not sign it, okay, we have to have some type of legal documentation and paperwork ready to where we have to go in and annex them. That being said, if we do not annex them, we don't have this written down, then what happens is we completely lose that tax money. So that is the reason why we're doing this today. That I pass, Mayor.
Okay. Any other comments?
Yes, Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
My 23 years being a city councilman up here, this is one of the most important ordinances I've ever seen. It involves our tax situation, how our city grows and benefits. And we had an industrial district contract that we just passed. And the controller's office led us to believe that it was a bona fide signed contract that everybody has signed off on it, all the industries. But that's not the case. We don't have a contract with the industrial district. That's the reason this is on the board now, to try to get it resolved by December the 31st. But I don't know of anybody that get this ordinance Friday and knows what they're talking about. So it takes time for me to understand it. So they always say, well, vote yes, and you're going to have 2 weeks, and you can study it, and I'm going to vote. I don't take that path. If I don't understand it, I'm not going to vote for it. So I'm going to vote no, and I'll take 2 weeks to understand it. That's the path it should be taken. But the controller's office does not know what they're doing. The same person who's working in the controller's office filed up the original contract, and I've got questions. The maps are bad. We can't tell what the maps say in here. And the water system. And how are we going to maintain the roads out there when we can't even maintain McNay? That's the biggest problem. We don't take care of our own city streets. We're going to take care of all the streets in industry, in water and sewer, police, fire protection? No. This is one situation that the city is just behind on everything, and it's a rush deal. And I got this Friday, and I'll take 2 weeks to study it and ask questions. But the controller person, they're the ones who sent it through, and now we're in a rush, and now we're going to lose all the taxes for the industry if we don't pass it, this and that. So the controller's office needs experience, and somebody knows what they're doing, and they don't have it now.
Thank you, sir. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No.
We have one no. Resolutions, Madam Secretary.
Resolution 2018-137, accepting donations valued at $1,607.76 from the Friends of Public Library for staff workshop, lunches, volunteer appreciation program posters, and lounge chair for the Central Library's public area.
Motion Casado, second Lehman. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-138, accepting donations of door prizes valued at $129.99 from the Penguin Random House for the library's IchikoCon event. Donations valued at $150 for the lawn stylist, $300 from the Pasadena Philharmonic, $109.90 from Friends of the Pasadena Public Library, 2 Waterford champagne flutes valued at $250 from Bella Estates, in-kind donations of plants valued at $840 from the lawn stylist, and 4 hours of play valued at $250 from the Pasadena Philharmonic for the Antique Trunk Show event.
Motion Casados. Second Wheeler. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-139, accepting in-kind donations valued at $1,450 from Paramount Senior Care Centers, Parsons House, Funeraria del Angel, Cigna Health Spring, and Clear Captions, and monetary donations with a total amount of $500 from Jim Campbell and Right at Home for programming at the Madison Job Senior Center.
Motion Casados. Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-140, accepting a donation of bottled water for volunteers valued at $615 from Silver Eagle for the Kaboom Playground build on October 6, 2018.
Motion Wheeler. Second Lehman. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-141, accepting a donation of lunch for volunteers valued at $450 from Dairy Queen for the Kaboom Playground build on October 6, 2018.
Motion Casados. Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-142, approving an interlocal agreement with Harris County for computer-aided dispatch.
Motion Shanebine. Second Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-143, approving financial report of investment activities for fiscal quarter ended September 30, 2018.
Motion Bass, second Wheeler. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-144, nominating Chevron Phillips Chemical Company, LLC, to the Office of Government, Economic Development, and Tourism through the Texas Economic Development Bank as an enterprise project.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine, second Lehman. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-145, accepting an in-kind donation of a Kroger gift card valued at $20 from Prerida Farmers Insurance for the Veterans Information and Appreciation Workshop.
Motion Casados.
Second.
Second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-146, accepting an in-kind donation of Critter's Cajun Cooking gift card valued at $20 from Furniture and More for the Veterans Information and Appreciation Workshop.
Motion Lehman,
Second.
second Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-147, authorizing the accepting of funds in the amount of $25,000 from PetSafe for the Bark for Your Park grant.
Motion Casados,
Second.
second Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Resolution 2018-148, accepting a donation of 2 banners valued at $600 from Burleson Florist for the Pasadena Heritage Park and Museum.
Motion Lehman, second Casados. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
And Resolution 2018-149, approving an amendment to the fiscal year 2019 budget for the Pasadena Second Century Corporation as approved by its board on October 25, 2018.
Motion Bass.
Second.
Second Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor?
Mayor, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. Casados, go ahead.
Yeah, let me write this down, I'm sorry. This is a budget amendment. Looks like it's going to be about $5 million, or it is going to be $5 million. $2.5 million is going to be for Shaw Street reconstruction. The other $2.5 million is going to go towards the bank building that Second Century just purchased, or Economic Development Group. Sorry, guys, it's getting used to that new name. So I'm going to say this. I'm not going to support this, and the reason why is this. The council originally gave $2 million to the Economic Development Group to purchase property. I voted against that because I felt like as a council member and as citizens that you guys are that paying tax dollars, y'all should be able to go and speak your minds on whether or not they want to buy that building. What happened was we allotted them $2 million. They took it upon themselves to buy whatever property they want to buy, and they don't have to ask any questions of you as the citizens, and they don't have to ask council. So I'm a little bit displeased with that process. I feel like buying a piece of property should come to council. We are elected officials. No disrespect to the Economic Development Board, they're appointed. They don't have to answer questions for a constituency. We do. And so I feel like as a matter of just doing things the right way and principle, that they should not have even bought the building without our approval. And I can't support giving them $5 million to just do, again, what they want to do once they make a decision without our input or the citizens of Pasadena. I think it's very, it's just not right in my opinion. So with that being said, I can't support this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mayor, I would like to make some comments on this. I've attended several of the economic development meetings and also to understand how the Economic Development Corporation came into existence. It came into existence by a vote by our citizens for us to collect 1 cent, a half cent to go to economic development and a half cent to go to our crime control district. And with that being said, the Economic Development Corporation, they have certain legal responsibilities and certain legal entitlements to where they can purchase buildings without it going before council. It has been very clearly stated in their meetings, and they purchased the bank building for $500,000. They're asking for $2.5 million from one budget fund in their account to go to the abatement of the asbestos which will run about $1 million, and the other $1.2 million will go toward the demolition of the bank building. That bank building has been empty for over 25 years. It is not structurally sound. There is a hole in the top of the building. Every time it rains for the last 15 years, that water has deteriorated that building so bad it can't be used for anything. The other $2.5 million is for infrastructure for Shaw Street, which again is, and I really don't like using this term, but I will, it's for the north side of Pasadena. And, for that bank building to go away, it's the right thing to do for safety concerns. I would like to see it have a return on its investment, which I think one day it will. But right now, since the city owned, ma'am, I have a minute?
No.
30 seconds?
Your point was very well taken,
Okay,
Thomas.
thank
You
you,
spoke
sir.
very well. Any other comments?
Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
These economic development meetings that are held monthly, they're open meetings. The public can attend, council can attend. The public, as at a council meeting, can sign in and speak if they have any concerns. In regards to the bank building, years before I came on council, the talk around Pasadena was how much longer is that eyesore going to continue to be there? It's a dangerous building. Kids have gotten in there. Homeless people have gotten in there. And I think we're lucky somebody hadn't got killed in there. And I think the decision by the Economic Development Committee to make this acquisition and do this was a smart decision on their part. Thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes, Mayor.
Oh, you want, go ahead, sir.
I looked at this, and I worked at the bank building in 1963 when we moved over there, so I've got my heart's over there. But, I saw in the paper demolition was $2.5 million the second century of the economic development posted. I thought that was pretty high, and 5 years ago I estimated it. And I got a appraisal district value on the property is $1 million, and I estimated about $1 million to tear it down, and therefore tear the building down. We get a lien on the property, we break even. And now what they're going to do is going to cost $4 to $5 million when it's total cost. But the economic development what they used to do is build roads, streets, sidewalks, water and sewer lines, things that really help this city out. But now they've gotten in the real estate business. Most of them on there are selling insurance or real estate, and they've got an inside interest that, and I tried to amend the budget of the prior administration to put bus service in the city of Pasadena. And I got a legal opinion from the city attorney said you couldn't amend the budget. The council can't. And here we are right now voting to amend the budget. So what is it? Can you amend the budget or can you not? But they've gone in the wrong direction, in my opinion. We need streets. McNay would have possibly been fixed. All in North Pasadena. I refer to the north because it's neglected. And you can drive through there, Thomas, you'll see the streets. But we need to take care of the north side. That's the old part of Pasadena, and the residential streets, they don't touch them. But that's the reason I can't support this, is because the legal opinions stated that we cannot amend the budget. Therefore, I can't support it.
Any other comments?
Councilman, here we are again. We're discussing the historical side. There was a comment by one of the councilmen, only 234,000. I'm not looking at the figures, but just on this one agenda, I'm looking at $1 million on Wafer and 2.5 over in the Shaw area for infrastructure. And I believe that's in District A. And so that's just on one agenda that we're talking about here. So I believe we're trying to work towards that. And why we keep throwing water on that duck's back, it's just going to keep rolling off. That I pass.
You're out of order, sir. You're out of, sir.
10 years.
You're out of order, sir. Not another word, please. Okay. Any other comment?
Yes, Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I know this can be confusing to some, but so you have City of Pasadena money, right? And the justification for the tax increase was City of Pasadena projects, right? Well, the federal government has grant programs, CDBG, Community Development Block Grant. When you have parts of your city that are not doing what they're supposed to do, the federal government will step in and give the city money. That's that $1 million on wafer. So it had nothing to do with the tax increase. So you're trying to use federal money because they're saying, hey, Pasadena, your streets are falling apart. Here's some money. You're trying to use that to justify the tax increase and muddy the water. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the public. Thomas, you had your time. It's not fair to the public to try to use federal grant money to justify tax increases on citizens of North Pasadena. And it hasn't gotten like this overnight. Well, you didn't call point of order on him when he started talking about it. I know you don't want me to speak on this stuff, but I'm going to say it. It hasn't got like this overnight. 30, 40 years of neglect on the north side of Pasadena has caused this. So don't try to say, hey, we got a federal grant, everything's better now. 2, let me get back on point to this building here.
Please.
Again, about 3 or 4 months ago, we got over here. There was $2.5 million budget amendment for Second Century. And we said, well, what are you going to do with this money? Well, it's for real estate. Well, what are you going to do with it? Well, we don't know. Maybe if something comes up, we're not really sure. They knew what they were going to do with this money, but they don't want to tell council what they're doing with this money. They intentionally leave council in the dark. They make these decisions. And I'll tell you this, we have a history of buying buildings. We sold our old courts to Cayman Cargo. The next month, we turn around and rent it for $25,000 a month. We have an AT&T building right next to it we're not doing anything with. We keep on buying junk buildings, collecting this property, not getting tax revenue off of it, and we're keeping council in the dark on these decisions. Then I know moving forward, there's further talk of TERS, tax increment reinvestment zones, and all this other stuff that I'm finding out through other people outside of the city that are hearing about it before council is. And so
thank you, sir.
This city needs to be transparent and lay out a plan.
Thank you, sir. Your time's up. Okay. Go ahead, Councilman.
All I can say is I remember a few months back when the engineering part of Ritchie was getting done. That was going to be voted. That was money from the city. It was over $1 million. I believe I remember certain council members saying we weren't not going to vote on that because we can't vote on a handshake and all of this stuff. And that money was done. Ritchie's getting ready to get. It's already started, and the money's been there. And with that, I'm done.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No.
We have 2 noes. 3 noes.
Harrison,
Casados, and Wheeler.
Okay.
Passes. Thank y'all for coming to the City Hall. God bless you. The meeting's open.